Howdy folks, my name's Darren from RC Scale Models and today I'm back with you. Today we're going to be taking a look at another kit from Tamiya. This is a very old kit. This is from 1965, one of the pretty much originals from the early days of Tamiya. This boxing you see here is from 1988 and it's still an old kit. I've had this for a very long time. This boxing hasn't been released since 1990s. It hasn't been released since then. They've updated to the G, which is a new tool, in 2003, but this one hasn't been released since. I think it's pretty much like obsolete, but we're going to take a look anyway. Okay folks, before we get inside this one, it's standard Tamiya's box. They've done the white box for forever. This one is a little bit squashed because I've had it in the stash for a long time. Let's see how it stacks up. If you are interested, the item number is 4228610, or how I know this is the original boxing and the last it was released in 88 is because the item number again for this one is 35065. The 1990 version, the product code changed to MM165, so this is the 88 version. Where you get inside, you get rubber tracks. This is how Tamiya did theirs back in the day, and they did theirs for quite a while, but obviously now it's all plastic. Upper hull section, I mean there are some accuracy issues, there are better kits out there, but this is not about them. This is about how old Tamiya kits and how they stack up today. And I think if I had this kit when I was in younger days, even today, I think it still looks pretty good. And basically I think as long as the kit looks like what it's meant to replicate, I think it looks pretty damn good. At the end of the day, it looks like a Panther. I think that's all that matters. As always, you can tell by what year the kit is made, because Tamiya normally put the stamp on the inside. It's always on the bottom. If you wonder what these parts are for, this is all to do with Tamiya started off as a toy company, so you can add motors and make it motorized, because that's what this part's for, to add a metal rod for your drive sprocket and stuff, so you can make it motorized. Does this one have the stamp? I don't know how well you can see that, but it says it there, 1969 Tamiya. And so basically the instructions are normal decals. It's got the date on there as well, 1975. I'm not sure if these printed in 1975. If they are from the 70s, they've held up really well. And then it's a bag of wheels basically, so there isn't an awful lot, and you've got a couple of bits at the back which is a turret. So a very simple kit. Paperwork is pretty simple. You get the two versions. Obviously it doesn't do that now, whatever country you're in, it's pretty much for the language, but in the early days it's English and Japan. Obviously I don't need Japan because I can't read it, so we can look at English. So what the Tamiya instructions look like back in the day. So on the front you get write up on the Panther and a little bit of history and stuff like that. So there's one there's painted in French markings, so it's like a monument type thing. It would have been a captured one as well probably. But a standard pull out page. Tamiya still does this today, pull out pages, but they're more, I don't know, a little bit more detailed, but they don't give you the descriptions like they do here. Down the side you get all your part numbers and what all the parts actually mean in terms, so which is pretty cool. Sprue layout is very basic. You get greyed out segment, which is not needed, which is the legs for your driver, because basically the driver won't fit in otherwise. If you don't want the driver in and you want him standing, then obviously you add the legs. So basically this is the tank section, turret, wheels, lower hull and upper hull, and that's it basically. So you do get descriptions on the older kits on how to do certain things, but you can pretty much work it out. The colour callouts are black and white, there isn't much to go by. They don't give you a colour list like they do in the new version. So basically it's the back of the tank, exhaust, and I think these are fuel tanks on the tank. Very basic bathtub hull. Again, if you are going to make it motorised, it's saying to add piece C12. It doesn't come in the kit, so basically it's a metal rod, and that what made him motorised. And the back, again, you add the metal rod. All your wheels, drive sprocket and standard. It shows you how they interlock into one another because they go a certain way. And the barrel, very old style, two-piece, the gun mantlet. This is the back of the turret, bottom turret, lower turret, very basic. Your crew figures, basically two arms, the body and head and stuff. It's a very basic colour callouts for the figure. So again, just do your research if you want to get the right colours. This is the commander figure, I believe. Basic machine gun, which would be the MG60. And then we have basic tools, and for your driver figure you have this like L piece, and basically you glue his back against the L piece of plastic and poking him up through the turret, through the hatch. So that's very basic for attachment. Inside the gun area, but down by the driver, very basic gun poking out. You won't see any of that anyway. Basic tools again, some weird pieces to make up the tracks. Again, it's just attaching tools. There is no photo etch for the grills. I don't even know if you can get photo etch for this kit. I'm not sure. Attaching the upper and lower hull together, rubber tracks. It's asking you to mount a screwdriver, or sorry, not mount a screwdriver, but heat a screwdriver up and mount the pins. Decal placement is basically just the 4, 1, 2, but there are a couple of other numbers on there, but it's pretty much the same. You can place them wherever you want to. As for, like I say, colours, it doesn't give you a colour call out. It's a case of painting it whatever you want or going by the box, which you see is here, which would be German Dunkelgelb yellow and the German green, but you can pretty much do your paint scheme however you like. You've already pretty much seen the markings. I'm not sure what those stripes are for. I think they might be kill markings around the barrel, I'm not sure, but you get basic like squadron markings. I believe it's platoon markings as well, type thing. So any basic numbers and your crosses. As for the kit, like I say, you've got rubber tracks. As I say, I don't like rubber tracks, but they're going to have to do, because I don't think there's anything for this kit anyway. But you do get these weird pins, and they go through the holes. It's a case of just lining them up and then melting this track into place. The reason why I don't like rubber tracks is because they perish over time, especially if you put your washes and pigments and stuff all over it. It can break the track down. Lower hull section, as soon as it's all moulded as one piece, all your arms for your wheels are all done. But today's standard and newer kits from Tamiya, this is all separate now. The floor, the sides, the front, the rear, all of this would have been separate. That's how they get more detail. Obviously it's a little bit more lengthy, but this is how it's done. It looks pretty good. Once it's all built up, I think it'll look like a Panther, just like it's meant to. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Obviously this is where it's injection moulding you have to take care of, but I think it'd be a right kit. I think it's ideal for beginner. You can pick this kit up for about 10 quid. It's cheap. The upper hull section, even for the day, this is 1969, remember, and I think the weld detail and even the cast texture or texture of the plastic it's held up really well. Even all this detail for the 60s is, I think it's really, really good. So basically this will just get attached to that. It's going to line up for me. Pretty sure there might be a piece that I have to attach, I think. But very simple. And then there's this one bag of plastic. You get the rubber segments, which is the inserts for your wheels. And then you get wheels. You got this piece of plastic as well. I'm not sure what these are for. But a couple of pins. I think the wheels look really good. Even like I say, from the 60s, this is really good detail. And I think it still holds up today. It's pretty good. I mean, if I had this kit back in the 60s, I'd be well happy. Here is the turret, obviously 2-piece barrel, gun mantlet, exhaust parts. They're not drilled out or anything. You have to do that, but it's not a problem. Obviously you're going to have to take care of the seam of your barrel. Obviously if you want to upgrade it, it's tied up to you, but again, these older kits I'm just going to build straight out of the box and just have fun with it at the end of the day. We have the figures, the commander, and this is the driver. Again, they're not calling out for his legs because I don't think he fits if you put the legs on. Cables are all moulded as one piece, but for you to get it to wrap around the tank, which goes across here and up and over, I think you do have to kind of heat this up somehow without breaking it. You got the fuel tanks at the back, I believe they are, and then obviously the rest of it's all tools. But again, for its time, it's pretty damn good. These segments are the spare tracks. Weird way of doing it. And that is it. So there you are, my friends, another kit from Tamiya from the early days. This, as I say, this kit's from 1969. Re-released, as you see here, 1988. An old kit. I think it's a classic now. I'm not sure if you can get it still, but if you can, it's pretty cheap. I think it looks pretty good for its age, and it's held up really well. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.